Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look and installing the Roadmaster Charge Line Kit for flat-towed vehicles on a 2020 Chevrolet Spark. A charge line is an easy addition to a flat-towed vehicle. It's very simple to install, but it's a really nice feature, and if it saves you from having to charge your battery before using your towed vehicle once, I think it pays itself off. And pretty simple, it ties into your 6-pole up front, and you just simply run that wire to a circuit breaker where you attach a ring terminal, and then from there you connect another ring terminal to a wire that goes directly to your battery. And all that's going to do is send that power via the umbilical from the 12-volt power on the RV to the battery here, and that way it trickle charges as you go along. And having that circuit breaker means that you're not going to get any shorts or cause any damage to your battery. You want to make sure that you throw this in while doing your diode wiring if you can, because it does tie into your 6-pole. So the main thing you're going to want to do is have this started up where you're going to mount your 6-pole and have this along with your diode wiring. And from here, we're just going to route this into the engine bay where we're going to tie into our circuit breaker. So from where your 6-pole is going to be mounted, you can really mount your circuit breaker anywhere. I found a nice spot kind of along this frame rail here. So here's the transmission, so it's just kind of hidden. And to get this mounted up pretty easy, you're just going to use the included self-tapping screws to drill that in. Now there's two different posts, one that is labeled battery and one that's labeled auxiliary, and you'll see that it is molded on here. The battery is going to be this copper one, and that's where from the 6-pole we're going to go to this. And since our battery on the vehicle is becoming the auxiliary, we're going to be using this to tie into our battery. So I have my excess wire here. I'm going to go ahead and just cut this and get our ring terminal put on. Now, very important, throughout all this, we're not going to tie this into 12-volt power until we have our 6-pole set up. We don't want power going through that, otherwise you're going to get a nice little shock when tying into your 6-pole. So we'll just strip back the end here, and then we'll grab our small ring terminal that's included in the kit. And then crimp this down. And we can go ahead and attach this to our circuit breaker. So again, this one will be going to the battery post. And then the excess wire that we had, we're going to make that as our jumper from the auxiliary post to the positive post on our battery. So I'll go ahead and grab this, and I'll put a small ring terminal on this end and attach it to our auxiliary. So with your extra wire, you can route this however you want to make it nice and clean, and make sure you have enough length, obviously, to make it to your positive terminal. Now, something that I will point out, again, I'm going to put my ring terminal to attach here, but you want to make sure that you're going directly to the battery post. This vehicle does require a battery disconnect, or at least pulling power away from the vehicle when flat towing. So it needs to go directly to your battery. You don't want to attach it to where the battery would be disconnected. And I'm not going to attach it quite yet until I get my 6-pole attached, as I mentioned before. But with this kind of routed over nice and clean, I know that I have enough length, so I can go ahead and put my larger ring terminal on here. And then once we get our 6-pole all set up, we can attach this. So I'll show you how to get it attached to your 6-pole, exactly where it goes to it. Now on your 6-pole, there are going to be letters right below each of the screws to let you know where these go. Now the center tall post will be where the charge line goes, and to get these in place, a small Phillips, you're going to want to back the screw out. Now don't go all the way. These are real tiny and they're hard to find if you drop them, so just back it out enough to where you can get the wire fed in, and then you'll just slide that in there and tighten it down. You don't need to get crazy. You don't want to damage the wire. You just want it snug. So we'll go ahead and get this tightened down. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of wire loom and wrap it around these wires and tuck it in the boot, and that way it looks a little bit cleaner. You're not going to see all those wires up front. I'm also going to take some electrical tape and just kind of wrap this around where our boot is, again, just to kind of give it added protection and make it a little bit more watertight. Go ahead and attach it to your 12-volt battery post. And that was a look and an installation of the Roadmaster Charge Line Kit on a 2020 Chevrolet Spark.